Ooh, it's leaking. Yay. Yum. Why is it that oil pan bolts are always so damn big? Like, they're just ridiculously big. And they don't have to be. Like, this is a 7/8 wrench. It's 7/8. Like, why?
Why are you the way that you are?
Ready, 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 ready. Ready with the good stuff, and boom. There's no oil. Well, hopefully this oil's clean. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing a little oil change on the Nova. I'm going to be talking about plans for this year, 2024. We did a few little intro videos on kind of things that we're doing around the shop. And we're currently filming long form stuff, like really long, like hour probably on that and that each. Just kind of updates and stuff, because those two are under the knife this year and not this. And why might you ask that? I'm just leaving this as is. Well, last year was a little rough. I didn't film a lot of it just because of how much stuff was going on last year.
All right, I'm a little tired, a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.
But literally, so we went on drag week. Before we went on drag week, so drag week was in September. I got married July 31st. The transmission was in and out of this car 4 times before the wedding because of issues with converters and the transmission actually breaking and us having to have it rebuilt. So that was awesome. And then on top of that, we had the engine out once before the wedding, and that was to get the EFI, or not the EFI, that was me swapping heads, doing a cam, and we did the FI Tech, the 650 horsepower systems, that's on it today, over the 400 horsepower system that's now on my wife's Camaro, that was on the 283 that was in the car first. So, long story short, we moved, we had the 350 in the car, metal went through the 350, I went to the 283, just for the meantime while we were moving, and then we put the 350 together. 350 was running fine. Cam went flat. After the wedding, we found out the cam was flat when we went to the races, and the car ran literally like a 1340 or something like that, when it should have been running mid-12s. It ran like a 1330, 1340, and I'm like, something's wrong here.
I got a bad feeling about this.
And we started, and I changed the oil, and it was literally just like metallic. So, yeah. We went and found a roller cam, used roller cam, mind you. And we bought springs and stuff for the heads because the roller cam had need a lot more spring pressure than the blueprint heads that are on the car had. So we put all that together, put rear gears in the car because that would match the converter and the cam better. So we went from 355s to 411s. We literally did their gear swap without ever having made a run until we went to drag week. So we literally trailered the car down the Darlington without ever having really made a hit. Unofficially in Mexico, we made, a couple 60, eighth mile hits. We didn't really know what it would do though. So we had no idea what the shocks looked like. We had no idea what any of that did. At drag week, we ran a 1269 average and ran a best of a 1256. So it was a 1282 at Bristol at altitude with not necessarily the best air. So I call that all a complete win. So
I see this as an absolute win.
you can, with all that work and stuff that we had to do in the car, you can understand why I don't want to take the car apart right now. I had plans, mind you, to swap the crank, rods, and pistons in the engine and go to a 350. I have a 1182 crank, and we have 6-inch H-beam rods, and I was going to buy pistons. But the issue is, pistons for that combination without boring the block is like $600. And I don't want to go through the effort of buying pistons and go through all that work balancing it, time, energy, basically to get maybe an extra 30 horsepower in the engine, maybe, just from the compression, because it'll probably bump the compression a point or so, point and a half. It might be 2 points. I don't really know because we need to like check clearances on the block. We've never done that. It's just an old stock bottom end truck. It's like 70 Chevy truck motors. All this is with a cam, heads, and intake on it. So, with that being said, I'm leaving it alone. I'm changing the oil and we're going to put plugs in it. Give it a nice little tune up. We're going to check the EFI, go through some stuff like that. I'm going to do a few things, hot roddy stuff to it. We're changing the alternator bracket and stuff like that because I'll show you guys. It is a work of genius right now, but I don't really like it. We need to change it so it looks a little bit better. So if you notice, this right here is gate parts. So this is literally like gate parts that you would find at Tractor Supply. That's literally where it came from, to get the front part. And then we made this bracket on the back. So this is a piece of angle. And then we have two little spacer brackets on the back that hold it that way. And then we have a arm that normally is on the top like this. That's on the bottom, retaining the front of this. And you might notice it's tilted. And yes, it is. I have been asked countless times, do you throw belts? No, I have never thrown a belt in this car ever. So call it what you will. That has never thrown a belt. Anyway, I'm going to be changing this stuff out right here just to make it look a little bit better. We're retaining the alternator, that's just staying. I am going to be changing intakes. So this is a Offenhauser Portasonic intake. That is a tall single plane. And I have a Performer RPM intake over there. I'm going to gasket match and do a few things too. And we're going to put a 1-inch spacer on and run that instead. And I'm hoping that gives us a little bit more low-end torque and kind of matches the cam a little bit better. It might give us a better 60-foot, stuff like that. I'm going to get valve covers and stuff like that for it. Apologies. Yeah. Apologies, the GoPro died, so now you're on my phone. We're going to swap out the battery. We're going to put it in the back of the car. We're going to put it in the trunk. So that way we kind of free up a little weight up here. Do the alternator bracket, do the battery, and then I'm hoping if we have the time and money and effort, I want to get there's two options that we have, and I'm debating on which one makes more sense. So in this car right now, we have the bench seat and lap belts, which running 12s with lap belts is a little sketchy to me. And I hope you understand that. I love the interior in this car and how it, looks basically stock, with, a shifter and tack and stuff like that in there. It looks good. But safety-wise, it's not as good. So I'm debating, there's two options I have. One is to put a hoop and down bars in the car. So put a hoop across, a crossbar behind the seat so you can get seatbelts in it, and then a down bar this way to help, capture the hoop and stuff like that and keep it a little bit safer and retain it. I was thinking about down bars through the package tray, but I'm not going to do that because that involves actually cutting things in the car, and then like welding things up in here, and I just don't want to do that. Not right now anyway. So we're going to potentially either do that, or the other option that I have is a Chris Alston Chassis Works. They make a crossbar that goes from that side to here, and basically what it does is you bolt it in, you make brackets, you bolt it into basically where your inner quarter panel is, and you go across the back seat, and it allows you to hang seat belts and stuff on it so that you have harnesses. I think the big thing that they do it for is like road race cars. So when you want to put something in, you want to like go road racing and you have, shoulder belts or lap belts, and they don't really keep you in the car and you want to put seat belts in it, that's a way to do it. I think that's more what it's for instead of like, safety for drag racing and stuff like that. Obviously it doesn't give you, the roof line or, extra stability this way, but it does give you some that way. So that's another option that I'm thinking about doing. Out back, I have my welds and stuff that we're going to be putting screws in. So I have my Hoosiers, I think they're 26 by 9s. And they actually roll. So this car, it's funny. So, everyone's like, you don't need you don't need bead locks until like, 10-second cars or stuff like that. But I'll tell you, my Nova, there's lines on my tires, and because I put lines on just to see if they're spinning, and I connect them to the wheel. specifically for this reason, to see if the wheel is spinning inside the tire. And every time you make a pass, that gap is about that much. So the tire spins inside the wheel about an inch. So Moroso sells screws that you can put in the wheels. And then I got a plate from Cal Customs. It's going to help be a guide, so that way you have guaranteed like where they're supposed to be kind of thing. And we'll put probably 4 on each side, inside and out, on the wheels. Obviously not these, because these don't really matter, but on the slicks it really will matter. So that's what we're doing there. Battery will be going right there, and we're going to put the shut off probably through right here. That way it's not cutting a hole in the car anywhere, and not going to put it below the bumper. I've seen people do that, or kicking it out of the bumper. But right here's, I have another tail light. That's the backup light lens, so I'm going to probably put it through there. If you want to watch how clean I got this, so this is a $100 intake I got off of Facebook Marketplace, and I've spent probably an hour cleaning this and repainting it, and then I clear coated it. So I painted this with VHT and Duplicolor. This final color is the Duplicolor cast aluminum. I can list it down below. And if you want to watch the video, I'll link it down below as well. But then I finished it today with a satin clear, which is a VHT satin clear, which is good to like 2,000 degrees. So it really should help seal this intake as best as possible. And then on top of that, I'm going to go in, I'll do a video on this later, but I'll go in and I'm going to clean up the inside of this intake and gasket match those runners and just kind of make sure it's the best it can possibly be. So that's what we're doing with that. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Oh, back for oil. That's right. I forgot what I was doing. Squirrel brain.
Oh, let my name talk, squirrel.
The oil the car is getting. Yeah, the good stuff. Bam. No, this doesn't work. Well, that's gross. I've been very messy recently. Let's do one of those. And ready, moving magic, and ready, and boom. Bam. And make sure all the water is out of it. Greatly. Yeah. And we're gonna go over here. Go like this for a second. Perfect. You're $1. Clean. Now this boy is gonna go right here. Y'all are gonna sit there for a second. Let's see how good I am. There. Me hold that for a second. And begin the pour. So I decided to get Driven racing oil this time. This isn't the first time I've ever actually used their oil. I was originally, like I said, when I was going to do the crank and rods and pistons and stuff, I got this oil because I thought we were going to be doing that, and I was going to kind of hold off on changing the oil until doing that. But I mean, after kind of like thinking about it more and stuff like that, I'm just going to probably run the engine as it is, like I said. So might as well use the oil that I have and give the engine the best life you can possibly have. And with all the research and stuff I did, and by the way, I am no way sponsored by them in any way, but after talking with them at Drag Week and doing more research about zinc and oil additives and stuff like that, and I know maybe you're not supposed to, people are like, you don't have to run zinc with roller cams and stuff like that. I still think it's a good idea to run it, just to try to give the rest of the parts and stuff the best way possible through. And this is the first time again that I've ran 1040 in the car in a while. Normally I've been running 2050 VR1. And if the oil gives me any clue on how, you know, if it liked it or not, it clearly was okay with the zinc. So we're just gonna keep running it. So I'm gonna set you down somewhere around here, a hyperlapse, and we'll do a quick fill up on oil and we'll be good to go. Fingers crossed. Come on, baby. Ooh, it's got maybe a little bit more oil pressure this time. Definitely could have been low. I don't know. Almost 40 pounds, that's not bad. Is it leaking? Don't see anything yet. We're gonna call that good. Alright, well I call that a success. So we will see how driven racing oil is going to do in the car. That'll be a good little test to see if there's any difference in like longevity in the oil and how it looks. And I don't know, we'll just see if there's any difference between that or VR1. Yeah, I just want to give you guys an update on the Nova and what we're going to be doing. And my goal is to wear out my Hoosiers to need new tires by the end of the year. So if that doesn't tell you anything, we're going to be doing a lot of racing. There's a lot of events in Bristol. I'm going to see if we can try to get down to like Darlington or Rockingham or places like that maybe for a few events. Maybe streetcar takeovers. Yeah, just kind of try to wear out the car with drag racing. Enjoy racing. Because last year it was like dragging on building and all these things and not working and struggling and wanting to race and not being able to. And so now we're going to be able to. So hopefully that's going to be good. We'll get this car together. We'll get that truck together. That way we can tow out to the track and we can tow a whole lot of stuff. There's big plans happening for that. And big plans happening for this too. So hopefully we'll be out at, maybe Rod Run will be at events like that. We're going to try to hit as many places like that up as we possibly can. Trying to, see everything in Tennessee. Because last year we were stuck in here building. So I'm going to go out and have fun this spring and summer. So hopefully you guys do, and hopefully I'll see you guys out there. Till then, I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like and subscribe to see all those adventures coming soon. Just wanted to give you a quick February update for spring that's coming as it's raining. Rain. I'm just going to sit here and cry. But yeah, so we'll do a few updates. We'll do a few minor touches on the car, try to like refine what we did last year, make it a little bit better, and go from there. So that being said, see you guys later. Peace.